Mr. Mwakaba from Amanyosem Jumedi so far do e atentam ha na mpanyefo si nkonya na ye be cheche adwede form say ka se far do oso betimi asend message na bre number no e the screen so betimi afa no asend WhatsApp message ni dia ba na kenkan e de ama ba na answer na ma me fa ncha kese pa enkoma ye openi kese ba ko e wo mamu Dr. Okojiman Kwaku Jampra otoso miensa oye omahene e wo kira no traditional area eno wo Western North region. Doc, enwumrei mbomu ase ndoma me so apom ye pa na said ye nkra ye no doc message say na ho a na ho de we hye se bode no bo e ofom e man kran sisi a oba nkran eyuma hye papa asima sika so de bode beba okoye kro ntimi anko fu akwa ntimi anto na kofa de yaba amaga
ame
bode no we
weekend ma anko
ntimi anko
the weekend man
come. So nanka almost every weekend now ko.
Say ejuma chime
3 weeks.
Ejuma chime tran dia weekends me ntumi nko.
So. Oko there.
Adom.
Oba krom bako.
Bibia e kama. Wajo kama.
Kabu?
Weather no so you fine.
Yeah.
I want white.
Oh.
How are you celebrating?
Oh, last week was my wife's birthday.
Oh, okay.
So I'm still celebrating.
Last week?
Yes.
And one come here and wish you happy birthday no.
And found.
And madam you wish you happy birthday. Yeah, champagne so sparkle clink.
And last year my first daughter me ba odi kan a birthday.
Oh. Very good. Very good. July bonds normally rocks.
Oh yeah.
And especially my wife.
Yeah, fantastic.
She really rocks.
Wow.
Yes.
Next week Monday is my birthday.
Monday.
Yeah.
Monday or birthday.
Next Monday and birthday.
Oh. And the best celebration was on Tuesday.
Okay. When you met the aba, Tuesday.
Tuesday. We did Monday and Sunday.
More bar. We opposition. I mean, who's opposition there? But we did birthday.
Old Bob.
More IMF so.
Oh, they be IMF. A bit more IMF there, and yet IMF. Eddie Scabo. IMF with strict conditions.
I just have my friend Pescama. How can
no. It's just the conditions. Look, the 2 billion a year can once him.
Or the anyway, my coming birthday with the army.
Okay,
see the president say, more.
Oh, yeah,
your IMF dear, but here than ya. And Yama, I was a better only about what that's your word there. And only because I mean for 1 PC, but birthday dear, oh, but at least 4 gallon. Petro bear ko 4 gallon bear 5 abremia. Enya bad
na same ubetra eyi a whole Amanyosem program ubisafo na doctor eyi Japan
Kabu
on the obedu birthday ewo eyi o
I mean ka se mi cho si ameti obi mama sase o East Legon no ka sase ni Petro ni meji Petro.
You may be right.
Because that has cinema Mrs. Ya. Me fence or crab me ntwa. Ni abeje free me nsem. Ba uma me fu ane dia. You be so ma yusun kakra.
You can room.
Minyeska East Lagos assassin metobi. Abega yenshem komo na se. Ene na nke hwe ni say budget review e betumi akoso. But me ama but the main issue I beba no so no ye labor unrest. Teacher trainee, I can say teacher unions force no call strike 2 weeks ago no. Say la more strike and many government negotiation and kwanku viaga or faso. Government is asking them to call off their strike before they come back to the year negotiation table. How much I say according to government argument and they say you can't go to the negotiation table whilst you're on strike. Almost someone tears here. Because they cautioned this government, they said several warnings, they cautioned this government, they said several notice, 8 good months, government, there's no time for them to call off their strike whilst going back to the negotiation. How are we resolving this issue? At this particular moment, who needs who? The government and the teacher unions, why didn't hear why more?
Some you're fair free. Budget review.
Young free teachers union because
budget review. No? Okay. Sammy, me that's it. My main original TV for the case so. Na me fan chair for. Na my chair me party penny for. Only say weekendi. And I be a national executives and the party is feverishly preparing towards that program over the weekend, which of course will be there to ensure that he be to me leaders will be to me aboy. Na machia Miami home region, regional chairman, chairman Jeff Kunedu, any regional secretary, Antonio Say, any other the regional executives, name Miami constituency chairman, Albert Nuyama. Same machia Greater Accra region, chairman, any regional executives, any regional director of communications, Sabu Alaji Sabu. Same labor unrest. Yes, teachers are on strike. The indication is that they need cost of living allowances. To me, a share how far that is agreeable. I buy your margin say umunshia na enka omonhwe no monkeka saa nsem ni nyina a ebetumi edi asomdu aba na nka teachers no etumi akọ back to the classrooms. When they met today, the outcome of it was that teachers now almost strike, they should get back to the classroom and then they should come to government for negotiation. Send a beya a bind between you and negotiate na cost of living allowance a bind to me after papa you be to me at the fason. Sami, if you look at MPP as a government, MPP government a bind bia or born homodin na uti say issues by a papa benny basi for faswa. You look at your current situation. Yes, we are visiting the IMF, but then it's a reason. And you IMF ya now just oppose current situations are teacher for some pe kolaya. Same say they should call off. Come back to the negotiation table. Let's negotiate on a favorable term so that we will be able to move forward. You know, government has been so much relevant on the issue. So even in the era when we had the COVID and then the schools were not in, the government as the biggest paymaster took charge of the issues and paid salary to the teachers. So we were expecting that they would be very magnanimous in some of the issues, either than calling us strike, but being in the classroom and then negotiating. So I want me person me trim arguing the CBB. So and I came with a lot of documents to be able to battle a lot of points. Until me kasa me pese beye enkekemuni dede.
They call the document.
Same osha emra NDC almost turning to IMF 2015 almost the letter of intent ekoye ena almost the letter of intent ekoye no same after letter of intent no obeye the friend no we memorandum of economic and financial policies kire eniyema bi a ode o country na faso enhihye bi a obehihye na watumi de oman na gina brane na IMF nso atumi ahwe se eniyema a wode ba ne ye niyema a ye betumi ahwe ne ye de akoyie. And if you put it into proper perspective on expenditure NDC money with memorandum and economic policies norm the core on the bit of expenditure in April 2015 NDC indicated say they would discontinue the 10% percentage on cost of living allowances granted in 2014. So situation of the core as in 2014 and about 2015 NDC pension they took off cola. Even in the midst of the issues any ahochira na ewo no aban bone ne atrimodin aban asabi oye insensitive aban a won dwene nipa ho aban a woni abadaye no ohwe teacherfo anim eyi sa kola ne firi ho
kola no kra den to you kola ne den
kola no your cost of living allowance
e dey na dey sa allowance
same whether a den a debau, whether any den a debau, the pessi a children say, and the teachers are on strike because of cost of living allowances. And even when teachers want to go on strike, there is a political party, which say, but you see, I know your person, your trio margin, but to say, in 2015, I buy a note so then, as in the time they were going to IMF, memorandum of economic policies, no, the call, you know, MEFP, no, told us, say, IMF website, or you pull it out to tell you that they wrote to IMF, say, cost of living allowance, now they're 10%, no, they are scrapping it off. And when you get teachers and other team that were going on strike, now you get the president coming to tell you, say, Sebio, he's turned into a dead goat. And this was the economy we inherited. Now you find yourself in a situation that even the World Bank is telling you, say, if you look at the regional and economic outlook, our World Bank publishing April 2022, it is telling you clearly the challenges that is being faced by countries in the sub-region. Any kwanya, who say countries need faso, any the eminent challenges and problems that is coming. And if you look at the eminent challenges and problems that is coming now, I am a fankasa same, tuo plain, mamen or say navigating this complex path will be difficult, and many countries will require international support. Countries be brave. When you look at these 3 points, we may kind of fankasa document more economic and regional outlook for April 2022. Or say, enunti, the IMF has allocated $23 billion. IMF fankasa who say amayamai be brave, and now say Russia-Ukraine war, any COVID ne beba anything no. Amai be brave, especially within the sub-Saharan African country. Ghana ye kan hono. Ye niema ye no ama ohaw any abebresa bankrofo so. Eti IMF will allocate $23 billion. Ode ba support to sa amai ansana or say allocate $23 billion of IMF special drawing rights, and then the region, and or say to strengthen external positions of finance agent expenditure during the pandemic. The group of 20, that is the G20, have also pledged $100 billion. And he says, "Same, say me tis and crofo, sorry no mujina, na omu bo monsem, no mu bosri hehe, say Ghana, dear aqua dunia, na omoya mesri." Because the same IMF is telling you that from their own document source, it's telling you that say ye share or how ni amania ni abebresa ababa betu yen sub-region mu a eno they know that countries have the need to resuscitate the economy, to hold the economy up. And IMF is allocating 23 billion. G20 so the 100 billion. And it tells you the kind of stress the region have itself in. And the reason why the need for us to draw on. And it's all your teachers in Sensemi or how you be. Yes, we appreciate. And when we were doing our negotiations, we have in mind that we have the IMF team in the country, and therefore we will need to have sure that we have a proper perspective to them. And until the say, get back to the classroom, let us come back to the drawing board, let's negotiate, because that is how we have Jojo. You have a president and is ready to listen to you. It's not a president that has turned into a dead goat. A president that has turned into oblivion. But president has 79 form. Now what tima, now what the air cosono, or see in I entrance near Jojo. A baby be ye call an free ho. No, try to come. I am
2014.
Oh, Sammy, 2014 report in the Waha.
Okay, maybe hold on. My main kind are there kakra we graphiconline.com. And this is Oh yeah, we have to set the.
Tell me records are setting straight. I don't need me buy man for BBN.
Sure. I know, sir. I know, sir. You have your. I know, sir. You have your time. I also have my duty.
Okay. Go ahead. To make sure. I don't have any problem.
So graphiconline.com and a publish here. Graphiconline.com is a state-owned. This was published on May 1, 2014, at 7:56. And I published a story. Was say minimum wages up by 14%.
Thank you.
COLA 10% for public sector workers.
Thank you very much.
Now, kind of story say government, labor and employees, or say government, labor and employers have for the past 2 days been locked up in a negotiation on a new minimum wage and adjustment in public sector pay. As of the time of going to press, information-reaching Daily Graphic indicated that members of the tripartite committee were engaged in a heated negotiation without any agreement in sight over the two items on the table. However, the source indicated that the government had agreed to offer a 14.5% upward adjustment in minimum wage from the present 5.25% to 6.01%. Regarding public sector pay, our information is that the government is unwilling to commit to an adjustment in pay increase, but to provide a cost of living allowance of 5% to cushion workers for increases in petroleum product and utility tariffs. A source close to the meeting said government proposal for COLA for sector workers was rejected. Our information letter said the government and labor had agreed to a 10% COLA for public sector workers. Ultimatum. At a pre-May Day forum in Tema, organized labor gave the government, so that's the background. So what they agreed.
Sammy. The Awoken does not fall in the issues.
I'll give you the time.
You are only confusing viewers.
I'll give you the time.
What you are reading is only confusing because it doesn't refer to anything. It doesn't make any sense towards the line of argument. Sammy, what we are trying to say is that NDC focus issues. How would they call IMF? Enuni International Monetary Fund. And no normal state will say, call 10% or may year free. If you want to read, you can read.
This is the graphic.
This is Daily Graphic could have
and there's no
their issues.
And there's no communique. There's no communique. Oko IMF. You have your own grown policies.
Sami, entina make us say. And no say you know, say IMF never discuss here. And last time you share, no, make sure say there was a letter of intent. And the letter of intent, you told me to look for the letter of intent and bring it.
Neighbor, Amega, yenye tell now na a financial person. Politics na ye, but we should be truthful to ourselves and our viewers. Say abembi e ko ne IMF and also be a policy a wo meka ne say homegrown policies. The o pesa wo ye.
Into homegrown policy of the IMF.
The o pesa wo ye. O pesa wo ye. Now ultimately a rescue sick economy. Sometimes you need to require granted. Osha sa nyama NDC for propose ya. Senye se nim se we ne be nka me do be come back. Nyama bebre o mom de call ni nyina was kicked out. Miensa pe na IMF so mu. But this is the record show say. The omuso mu say one. Government workers ya the limit atoso. Umfa no wholesale. Second, afi can say utility discount adman for subsidy, petroleum product, insure water. You subsidies in the free ho. Subsidies in the
submission to IMF.
And I make sure say
this yankasa 3 more day on the IMF say and this is what we want to bring expenditure cut.
Medical will say abambi e call IMF or one policies are there but nyina no mojitum IMF 2015 e kon dey jitum ni say IMF jitum say abammen to adwumafo aketum for 3 years. Okay, after men for adwumafo in wholesale after subsidies are there to product
and you go with a letter of intent. Okay. And your letter of intent states which program you want to enroll on.
Okay.
The letter of intent NDC do call was that they wanted to roll on the extended credit facility program.
But
you can read it. Or say, in support
the confirmation, one thing that is established is that 10% of COLA was agreed for workers in 2014, 2015.
I mean, in America, say, if you pick the records that states here, the records is telling you that on the expenditure, and then they decided that they want to discontinue the 10% COLA.
Hold on.
Sammy, look, let's say the record. Sammy,
sure.
Let me give it to you and let's sit down and relax.
Who said, Sammy, I want us to educate the viewers. Who said, Michelle, that be so say.
Sammy, we are going to take another
day. Understand you? I'll get your time. It's not about time. Let's set some records.
Yes. This guy is playing the diabolic game.
No, diabolic. Hold on. Maybe so say. A year COLA no cry ye can COLA ni a day. A year cost of living allowance. What is cost of living allowance? And this is the meaning. Cost of living allowance abbreviation is COLA. It's an allowance given to government workers or government employees as a short-term relief. Immediately salaries increment cannot be made. It is abandoning to me to aketua mu a ono di kola ne ba ti automatically say yenya de aketua ba say pa kola nya adwuma bi.
Anti aketua ba na otu
we should get it.
You read from the graphic say 5% kola. A government is telling you that in their own policy document that they have discontinued.
So this was the government intention.
That is government intention.
Okay.
How communicating?
But the fact of the matter was that 10% was in emotion and they were paying.
Said they kicked it off.
Okay.
They discontinued because they needed a policy.
Now let's go 15 minutes. 15 minutes for you.
Okay. Me Anna maybe.
We kasa free.
You want to
I allow you to exhaust your time before I came in.
Sammy,
have your time.
I've allowed you this huge platform way. Okay, go ahead with another 5 minutes. Go ahead and say what you say.
The time doesn't belong to him. It's your time.
Very good.
So person will do 5 minutes, man, I agree.
Or the mommy not for the other end.
Sammy, look, let's set the record straight. And sometime let me take this opportunity Namitia. Inshallah, the president that will be elect. And John Dramani Mahama and the national executive of my beloved party. Mamitia, the good people of Adam constituency and the Kakepim and Adoyu Oye MP. Sammy, this is a document that has been presented by Kafui. It's written in English. And sometimes say you can't check MPP, they don't read. They either read not to understand or they decided not to read. No, look, I'll read and give it to you.
Let me read it.
No, sometimes let me read. Okay, I'll see. On the expenditure side, to further address one of the main source of fiscal imbalance, the authority will limit the nominal increase in the total wage bill to 10%. Listen to it.
Total wage bill.
Yes. Wage bill increase to
very good. By 10%.
10%. Supported by one, an agreement with trade union on a 13% wage increase over the 2013 nominal basic wage. Two, discontinue with the 10% cost of living allowance.
Hold
on.
Master, you don't understand.
Now you can tell something.
What is cost of living allowance?
Calf. Let's have it.
Look, what is the cost of living allowance? Assume he said there's no increments in pay. And if you say, in terms of your inflation allowance, you are supposed to go for a COLA to cushion the people. Once a salary had come,
Kafui.
What the document is all
Kafui.
I don't work on hand you will vivi.
Kafui.
This is educating people.
Kafui.
Look, NDC decided to just cancel, to discontinue with the COLA and give a salary increase. 13%. So get the issue right. Once you've given a salary increase, you are not supposed to give a COLA. Once you've not given a salary increase, you give a COLA. This is what is stated. So when you come here and you decided to just play the political game,
what is the political game?
This platform is not meant for that.
You have
get it straight. Get it straight. Yes, that
and
it is there for everybody to know. Look,
What is wrong about this?
Control.
I can challenge anybody within MPP.
Control. Once I cost one, just zoom what is cost of living allowance call and zoom. Once you and zoom it.
The guy is playing a diabolic game.
Continue.
Look, Sammy, I can state emphatically. In terms of salary increase, we've increased salary within the 6 years about 81%. MPP is 41%. Yes, I'll give it to you.
81%.
I'll give it to you.
Let him prove it.
Look,
Prove it.
We increased salary with 20%. 2011. 2012, 13%.
Okay.
2013, 10%.
Okay.
2014, 10%. 2015. You read part over here. Please. 2015, 13%. The agreement that was agreed on the document on 2014 was given to them in 2015. That's the 13%. And 2016 was 10%. Nanado Eba, what did he give them? 2017, 12.5%. 2018, 11%. 2019 and 2020, the 2 years, they gave them only 10%. 2021, 4%. Abysmal performance. 2022, they are giving them 7%. This is the document that is there. Once you decided to read, not to understand, I'll educate you. Another area that my brother made mention of.
So for record's sake, this is cost of living. Allowance. This is what it means. They said that work
Thank you.
Without a salary increment.
Yes.
I don't know what
yes. When you take the 6 years, 2011 to 2016, NDC we've increased salary 81%. MPP from 2017 up to 2022, they've increased it 44.5%. Even you are supposed to take some indicators before you just go on that spree. Look. In 20 IMF, the indicators were so solid, nice, very juicy. More than yours that look very odd.
What was the
more
indicators?
Than Sri Lanka. Look,
what was the indicators?
I'm giving the 4 indicators. It's here. Last we debated on it. Our debt to GDP, when we're going for IMF, was 53.9%. NPP, they were going for IMF, and their debt to GDP is moving around 81 to 83. Inflation. During the time of NDC, IMF was 17.1%. Find your facts right. And MPP, Omokono, is 27.6%. Growth rate was 2.1%. MPP had 3% growth rate. Exchange rate 3.77. Today it's 8.4 and now 8.5. But then IMF, in terms of unemployment rate. Unemployment during the time of NDC was 4.7. And then the unemployment rate is around 15.5. So you cannot compare your abysmal performance to that of ours.
Okay.
Look, Sammy, I'll be more happy. Look, I'm the most happiest guy ever in terms of how NDC managed labor agitations in Ghana. Because during the time of NDC, we decided to hold what is called a Senchi consensus. Everybody was brought on board. We opened our books. To the extent say all political party you invite Obia. It is if you don't call political party decide say oh you call for if I don't call everybody represent here no. We don't give a hoot to that. Now so in terms of the academics, they represented. When you come the CSOs, they were there. The other organization, the think tanks, they were all part of us. Omo time they were going to IMF. They decided to heed documents from organized labor. That's the more reason why organized labor can say, you are not so transparent to us as we speak today. And then we don't know the number of our debt to GDP. The total one, because Unim said, MPP people were just trying to your friend below the line expenditure. If you know, they accounting, not all the amount that Ghanaians we knew of, because here, some 3 classicals. MPP before ECOG a loan of about $1.3 billion for Get Fund. Get Funds is being treated below the line expenditure. Next, G about another 2.2 billion. Okay, this Sino Hydro deal no. Sino Hydro deal is being
2.25 near Templeton.
The 2.25 Frank Templeton. G about 18.5% interest. Also to the extent say beside the finance minister say they should tell us country will be say who constitute the 100% who bought or who gave out that 2.4 billion? They only gave us only 95%, or say 5% on can amobiente. The finance minister for you. Look, you cannot compare what you put it. NDC, you say, look, gone were the days I ever can't say the reward of a teacher is in heaven. Look, as we speak today, things are very, very difficult, Sammy. Cost of living is very, very difficult. Look, Sammy, how on earth should you tell me? So we all have our peers. Cote d'Ivoire waha, Togo waha, Burkina Faso waha, Benin, and Nigeria. They are all within us. Take their monthly salary, minimum wage. I sure you did it. Ghana, 421 Ghana cedis. Burkina Faso, 469 Ghana cedis. Togo, 470. Togo this, and that is no more. Apart from that, what do they do? 477. Benin, 540. Senegal, 747. Nigeria, 779. Ivory Coast, you know more than 810. And you are trying to tell me that you've performed better than your peers, and you are quoting IMF program say because there's money available, we are supposed to go for it. Look, Sammy, these people, they are so clueless, especially President Akufo-Addo and his siblings. They are so clueless, first class clueless. What governance are you? Is these people? At the same time, you tell me say you've performed better. In which of the fields? May say unemployment. Our President Akufo-Addo called for this Arab Spring. It was 4.7. 4.7. He was calling for an Arab Spring. And then it's around 14.8 and now 15.3. What are we supposed to call it? So sometimes MPP, you should give Ghanaians a little bit of reasoning. Say, look, Ghanaians are not fools. Once you Yamo to me say, oh, headers, don't think you are better than people over there. Moreover, family and friends within them, the AC was Sri Lanka. It's the same thing happening within a Nanado government. I'm telling you, because so over Sri Lanka, the family, Omunye, Gotabaya Rajabaksa, president, Mahinda Rajabaksa, prime minister, into President Akufo-Addo only.
Prime Minister only president.
Their family. Sri Lanka.
Okay.
That's Gabi Ochidakun. Basel Rajabaksa, finance minister, and the Ken Oforiatta, Onowahano. Chamal Rajabaksa, irrigation minister, agric minister, close friend to the president. And no, Osaka.
No, Dr. Afriya Kutu, your close friend, or Yenanado, related.
Yes, that's so. We have been known said they are very close friends. So I'm giving them the close friend aspect of it. So you see how this family in Sri Lanka behave. It's the same thing President Akufo-Addo is behaving. Now, so we don't have time to go to the Flagstaff house to chase him out. We are going to chase President Nanado from this special MPP on the 7th of January 2024. Sammy, another area of great concern to me, it's about how this MPP people felt. Say, once almost strike, so they should learn or they should remember. Say, during the time of COVID, 9 months, a salary without work. Please, teachers are not stupid. Excuse me, with the greatest of respect. Look, these people gave a teachers not to go on holidays. They should extend the credit hours for students. Have they been paid extra hours? No. When COVID strike, teachers were on the front line. Were they given any compensation? No. So you can't sit here and tell Obiase because they were 9 months, they were paid. They were able to just make sure, say, the holidays and other extra credit hours that they used for them cater for the 9 months. Intermetraha to insult teachers because you had the power, because your government is in power. You first said yes. Let's say anything. Teachers are not stupid.
I don't think Sekafu are insulted teachers.
No. Or say, Sammy, with the greatest of respect. If somebody tells you, say, I've given you a com deal, Mima Osika Udiye. Don't say you need any increment now. Go and teach. It's an insult to the teachers. As if the teachers, they don't know what they're about. Look, what is the cost of living? cost of living allowance. This is a simple thing. Say, I know. By then, inflation is around 27.6. As I speak to you, this month, inflation that will come out, around 32.3 and 33. President, we're just doing our things around 7.something%. It's around 30 something, pushing us a bit. That's what the teachers were looking for, are calling for. They were not saying, give us the total sum of Sika in terms of our salary. Give us a minimum in terms of one of our allowance. And no, you had problem with them. Look, Sammy, another area. And then, as I speak to
2 minutes.
Mate. And then, me know say, our children within the secondary school, boarding house, and it is the responsibility of a government. Once you've rolled out a program that you've not thought through, he said free SHS was not thought through. And look, I will not be surprised. So when it comes to some of the social intervention within this administration, they are supposed to reduce some. Or can look, the number one spender in terms of our budget is about compensation and interest payment. Sammy, and then salary so interest payment. Look, compensation is taking only 35.841 billion. Interest payment and amortization 45 billion. 45 billion. You are just paying for only interest and amortization. So are you trying to tell teachers or now organized laborers, can say, look, the condition at which they are no, need a little bit of a push because you are just paying interest and amortization. Because look, the finance minister and his cohort find it luxury. Said they will always go to the bond market and others to go and borrow money because it suits them. They will get their profit.
Okay.
The finance minister normally get profit from all transactions that went on. Until why can't he tell us he's going to pay interest payment and amortization of 45 billion? The good people who are teachers shouldn't be insulted because look, they've worked for it. And I can state emphatically, NDC, we've performed far, far better in terms of salary and wages more than you.
I mean, kind message in we are Mega. Your rebuttal, get it ready. Good evening, Captain. I just can't imagine Anado is telling the teachers to go back to school and call off the strike before they talk. I don't think he is serious at all. Does he remember when the driver said he should take some taxes off the petroleum and he said, no, that they will lose money. They should pay them their cola and stop the hypocrisy. Home base and the free space. The parents can't talk about the food which is being given to their children at school, and teachers can't talk because they will be transferred or sacked. Or say you can't wuntie the be now be home base crowd about say good evening, my lovely brother Same Hunter, or see you do the great job. Please don't allow MPP to come to your show. Oh no. This is Ghana. We see government should let the SHS student come back home and come back home on food shortage. Besides, sexual immoralities and some deviance are ongoing in the schools. Please, students should come home. Parents can feed their wars better. Yenia Jeremiah difference. We say good evening, my lovely brother. My kind of message that okay, Mami Sanka was a good evening, my lovely brother Same Hunter. Was you do a great job. Don't allow MPP to come to your program and come and lie to Ghanaians. My name is Jeremiah Kwesi Obo, calling from Air Capital Hills. Akufuado, Oforiata, Amwakwata, and Baumia are thieves because Ghanaians are suffering. We say please, good evening, host. Please tell IMF that they should share the money for us, we the Adaja people, we are collecting our share. If not, this family and friends government will chop the money. Greetings to Chairman Yao, Bema, and Bosomtre, Kuju, Espresso at the January free Adaba. Say, Mr. Hunter, please, I suggest you remind the technician to always indicate a playback inscription on repeat telecast. Please, yesterday, they repeated your previous show with that described. Okay, that's Papa Pioneer. That's it. We say good evening, barrister. I'm Edie from Tabora. We'll see if may ask, people in the public sector are going to strike for cost of living allowance. What about I and you who are doing alala before earning a living? So-called I'm not corrupt president. If you want to be rich, go and join the private sector, not in my administration. Incompetent president with his incompetent people. Greetings to Honorable Ahinaya Sotium constituency chairman from Idi Tabora. We say good evening from Mahama of Insawan. Was it this same government decided to pay arrears from the time they took office and left the assets, which is some teachers who have worked for years? Listen, Mr. Host, I want to ask this question. 1, is Ghana still a Christian nation as we always boast of? 2, would people be happy to go and worship in the so-called cathedral they want to build in this hard time? 3, is the president still a Christian? Yabua aguna swedru and a baby ha we free aba. We could do any free see the greatest. The greatest achievement of this Fourth Republic is sending Ghana on the path of ruin, and I blame it on all those who queue to vote NDC MPP year after year. We see good evidence, Mr. Same. Michael from Kumasi will say, please, ask the MPP man for me. Are the NAPCO trainees still hoping for our allowance now that they have sent us back to IMF and have wasted our time? We say, please, can you ask the MPP guy where is the money World Bank gave to them? We say, please, host, tell the Nanado that he should come to the market and ask prices. We can't buy common milk powder. Greeting to the incoming communication officer, Amankwamiriku, the incoming organizer, Rasakito, and youth organizer, Pastor Samoa Bosomtre Victoria, from Estresso Adaja, and Odefe Abawesi. Good evening, please. Let the MPP man know that all the ministers, including himself and Nanado, were all paid during the pandemic, so they should spare us that loose talk and tackle the situation on board. From Yao Apa Kumasi, we say, I'm watching your program, and the MPP communicator should not provoke us because saying teachers have been sponsored by political party. Does it mean all teachers are NDC? He should shut up from a believer Adidome. I know do we free Ediaba. We see we are suffering. Tell government and stop that unanswered story. We see please. We see Nanado. We see MPP and the word billion is like fish and water. They will get the money and waste it on useless things. And I urge the IMF not to give them kobo because our grandchildren will be burdened with such a useless debt. No more loan for Akufo-Addo government. Yemi Andwade, Abamenka, a year last three messages you can't remember. I will say, Sammy, please tell Nanado to pay the cola to teachers for them to go back to the school. And we beg him to stop putting that white elephant in the V8 because the V8 will be fueled. The driver of the V8 will be paid. He can use the money. He can use that money to pay cola. We see upon what MPP communicator is saying. MPP government is willing to pay not willing to pay the cola. Remind him he has 1 vote and each teacher has also 1 vote. I'm back again. I'm back again. We are talking about Ghana, not NDC or MPP. Tell him very well, we are so confused about this government, so disappointing. Have we? 5 minutes, Rebata.
Sammy, I want to make a statement clear.
Okay.
Sammy Bahano Muamema myself we interest as a political party. We are here to discuss. And if you allow me to flow, it will be better. But that cut through interjections, just to ensure that I will not take it again from you. Because Kabu Kasa, you allow Kabu to flow because he's towing your line. Why is it that anytime I'm talking, you either want to go on the touch screen, you either want to go on your distance just to cut off my flow.
Okay.
So if you know that is your strategy just to get me from not speaking, then it's as better not coming here.
Okay. You
because
made your
I
point.
don't get it, sir.
You made your point.
Make 15 minutes. No. You use almost about 5-7 minutes. You finish with me.
I make us a Osha Siakasano. Now a 52 minutes after.
Sammy, it is not just today. It has been consistent upon consistent upon. May the documents, you want to flip through the document, look at which document. When was the last time Akabu did document? Document.
Every time. Every time document he accesses.
Sammy, severally.
You are Christian.
Anytime I bring a document, you want to look at this. But I believe, sir,
you go ahead.
Kind of thoughts.
Kafu what shall I say, Akasano? Now a year 52 minutes after 9. Okasa we 9 minutes after 10. So from 52 to 10, no, 8 minutes. 8 minutes plus now will give you 17 minutes. So you spoke for 17 minutes.
And how many times?
Hold on. I waited. Emma will make you point 15 in every. We've got 15 in every. That was when I came. Hold on.
Sammy, can we solve this issue after
no,
after the break?
I don't want to be biased.
Who allowed him so won't flow when he was making all those things?
When he says something, maybe I should program Nasino. You were not here. I did about what is cola.
But that is what we are talking about. Explanation.
Hold on. I explained, and this is the fact. Now, so when you were talking, I asked you to say, cola near day, because your explanation to cola was not the explanation, and we need to set the record straight.
What is the explanation? Explanation are there two.
The explanation
what I'm
is
talking about.
Cola.
What's the difference?
No, there was a difference. There was a great difference. There was a great difference.
Sammy,
let's go ahead. Let's go ahead.
Sammy,
5 minutes.
What I want all viewers to understand is that we come here prepared, not ill prepared, because in some way can be an yenim. Well, Minya Kabu making a statement, you allowed him to wash it under the carpet. That they went to IMF with an inflation rate of 17%, which of course is not true. Data and evidence, data on their Memorandum of Economic and Financial Policies indicate that their inflation rate as at the time was 19%. So where was he getting the 17% from? Even as at the time they were terminating to even go it has hit 23%. So this say now you make it fat, and you could also cross-check when I'm talking now. I believe so Okasa, when he put the figures, go and cross-check and correct him. But in all what he said, for me, I don't have any of the issues to talk about. But what I want viewers to understand is that we have a government that listens. What government is saying is, this is workers' request. We have accepted the request. Go back to the classroom. Come, let us engage. The moment you hit the classroom, come back, let us engage. And once we engage, whatever your request is, we'll be there to engage you in your request. Apart from that, if you talk to me, say, inflation rate, and there is a reason for all why governments would have to go down the drain, and the reason why governments will have to resort to IMF. You will krum ha. Ibola pie nkrofo kroso, ba ko kura MPA krum ha. And so Ibola nti NDC the IMF. The reason stated in their way was that Ebola have hit the sub-region. Ebola nti NDC the IMF. Ebola amami yan close to your borders. Any of our borders. Ebola didn't bring any restrictions, but they've written it in their policy. Say Ebola nti hotels are juma.
Was it part of this document you presented?
Sammy, everything is here. Everything. If you want to read, I'll give it to you. That's why I tell you, say, and sembia ebeke biya no, esi enye so. Because if people call on you, or if they want to see the document, you need to give them the source of document. And Sammy, when you meet workers that are agitating, that yes, they need increment, we all appreciate that the systems are not as it used to be before. There are difficulties in the environment, in the system. Fuel prices are going up, and therefore the cost of living in the system is also going up. So if people ask for allowances, it's justifiable. As much as people will want these engagements to come, government is ready to engage them. There is nowhere government has shied away from its responsibility, unlike the previous administration. Because it overwhelmed him, he will need to talk for people to get aggrieved, people to get angry, and then things that we don't know. But for us as a government, We are responsible. We want to take up the challenges. We want to take up the bull by the horn and then make sure that the indices into which we are putting the economic reform, the economy on its toe, and when it comes to when it comes to drivers who want to put 20%, drivers who are making all the allegations,
allegation, a proposal.
Yes, they put their proposal, and their proposals is that where your friend is saying to maybe any proposal. It's a government's decision whether to accept it or whether not to accept it. It's a government decision, because even within the NDC, and can say yes, tax reform. Sammy, in their tax reform, they have to introduce the special petroleum tax on fuel prices.
Yep.
They introduced it
because
they were finding means to which are resist car. Were they sensitive to Ghanaians at that time? They weren't, because they've gone to IMF. IMF has indicated they put 17.5% petroleum tax and VAT on fuel.
What? Excuse me. You said what tax? 17.
Yes.
On what?
It's like is it
what fuel price?
We have two topics. The first one is labor unrest. We are talking about the strike. The second one has to do with IMF, Amanyosem movie talks and some of the media budget review at the Aba. This drivers union or more all the reason they raise say into more person more twice into them by 20%. They didn't say anything about IMF, but they raised issue about the high cost of living, high cost of fuel, high cost of I can't say spare parts and no more. But you take it back to NDC and make reference to the side taxes way by. But you and I were here in this country. Demonstrations of course, so yet to petrol, yet to touch into them between this period I work and the NDC are okay. This same GPRT, almost to touch into them. Did they?
Sammy, we saw the government put this burden on us. There were others that went on strikes, several strikes under their government.
Sure.
People went and called strike, but the time when we called strike, how was their management like? Have you ever seen President Akufo-Addo, His Excellency, coming out to talk to
why are you responding
workers?
to the striking teachers with NDC, not NDC Neko strike? Teachers, they are not political organization. Neko strike, you need them, they need you. So why do you try to use NDC to juxtapose why you are not?
I am not using NDC to juxtapose it, Sammy. When we came, submission on the first part, I indicated that yes, you appreciate your pride. You say, therefore, if they are asking for increment in the form of cost of living allowance, yes, government appreciate. Government meet you twice. In their second meeting, which is today, government say they should go back to the classroom. Let's get back to the negotiation table and talk. That is where it ended. And they are supposed to go back and then for them to revisit the talks again and find out how they will be able to go. But then the catchphrase is that let's get back to the classroom.
Okay. Mamenkai, 7 minutes, I gave it to you. Yeah. Any other day I will say 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, it should come. Okay. We'll say I watch your program and easy communicator should not provoke, okay? My account messages I'm back, okay? We'll say Mr. President, please, we beg you, in the name of God, stop putting that white collar. Okay, my cancer message way. We see, Mr. Sami, please, talk to the MPP man. The way he's behaving is bad. He should let the NDC man talk. We say, please, let the NDC man be aware that teachers went to school to teach the 2020 WASI and BEC candidate for them to write the exams. Kofi, Eddie Framasamano Deba. We say Professor Jampo write salaries, conditions, service. Okay, Professor Jampo and someone Obiso Kuti Daba. We say good evening, Sami. Wish you you can read this to the hearing of Ghanaians. Okay, Professor Jampudi and Mebanma Babishim later. We see the third class student of Akufo-Addo is giving Ghanaians a third class governance. David Donyo, so here live from a Yamanet. 5 minutes.
Yeah, something may I say? I say sometimes my brother had it very wrong. Say we did not have Ebola, but we introduced some taxes. Sammy, they are during 2014-2015. Commodity prices dropped significantly. For example, cocoa, a drop here. Gold, a drop here. Fuel, a drop here. By then, our budget was $60. It dropped to $25 during the time of NDC. Until I introduce you, there's energy sector levy. We introduced it during the time of NDC. Now, so NPP, Sammy, in terms on fuel, they've increased fuel. They've introduced new taxes and they've increased even the existing ones. For example, the 3% VAT flat rate by NPP, 5% increase in VAT. When I'll give to hold on. When you do your arithmetics, you have a pen there. The stabilization levy, extended. No, it's supposed to have ended in 2017. It was extended by this MPP. Still, we are paying stabilization levy. 2% special import duty extended by MPP. Introduce you luxury tax. Okay.
Yeah.
Luxury tax.
Repealed.
Very good.
After 1 year.
Yeah. By then they had about 100 million Ghana cedis. As part of that tax, they had it. Introduce you 50% communication service tax. They increased that away. No. Introduce you 1% COVID-19 recovery levy. They had 5% financial service sector cleanup. They introduced it MPP for 15% increase fees and charges of government services. MPP for they are so clueless. They were supposed to do it. Sammy, MPP, these are what we are paying. NDC, yes. How much was fuel by then? Was 14 cedis, 80 pesos, 14 cedis, 60 pesos. And then, on taxes, fuel prices. If this government said they are so, they care for the ordinary Ghanaian, they shouldn't be so clueless. Special petroleum tax, 46 pesos. Primary distribution margin, 8 pesos. Bus margin, 7 pesos. Fuel market margin, 4 pesos. Marketers margin, 46.1 pesos. Dealers margin, 30.8 pesos. Energy sector levy, recovery levy, 49 pesos. Road fund levy, 48 pesos. Energy fund levy, 1 pesos. Price stabilization and recovery levy, 14 pesos. Sanitation and pollution levy, 10 pesos. Energy sector recovery levy, 20 pesos. When you add this summation, you are getting 4 cedis, 64 pesos. Multiply 4 cedis 64 by 4.5 in terms of liters, and you are getting 20 cedis. I think 20 cedis, 88 pesos, just on taxes alone. So I tell you, these people are so clueless. Sammy, as I speak to you.
So are you expecting the government to do away with these taxes?
Sammy, they can do something. Look, the windfall we had. I'm just quoting the budget statement for you. In terms of oil that we had. Sammy, these people are so wicked, clueless. Okay? This is the budget statement. Total crude oil production. From January to we budgeted in our 2022 budget. You can say we are going to sell crude for $60. Sammy, as I speak to you, a barrel of crude is $110. $110, eh?
Free 130 now by 110.
Yes, it has reduced. Sometimes I call even 135. That was last 3 weeks.
Okay.
And I'm just looking at an average of 110. We are doing a $50 windfall on a barrel. Sammy, do a little bit of a calculation. We are having 51,950,000 if all factors or all variables are the same. Because the total crude oil production, January to September 2021, we had 41,532,503. Use the third quarter one. You get 51,915,635. Multiply that amount times $50. You are getting about $2.5 billion. This is what we've accrued. Nobody is asking us any question. So why can't you do anything about it? Moreover, Sami, the tax is a Bibi Mauno. Bibi says sanitation and pollution levy. What does it do? 10 pesos. Juma.
It is a bola.
Bola we he. Look, ewo mi fie. Zoom line for befa bola, and I pay for it. Why away from that pollution? Energy sector recovery levy. Look, this was introduced by Setekpe. That need to end in 2017. Okay. Because omo yusu only so omo ko yusu way for a collateral. Eko di ehun sika. NPP for you about 2.something billion dollars. Omo disaster no. They don't know where the money is. Marketers margin. What's the essence of it? There are some taxes that need to be scrapped. Even look, a toddler, a class 1 child who is being given the affairs of this nation, or if all variables are available to him, can manage this economy far better. We have the man, we have the men.
Not on their will never be the same. So
look, I'm saying we have the men, not on their all area boys. Look, Sammy, last one, then I'll just leave it for him to just look. I'm saying that we were advising the president. Say, President, this profligate lifestyle. Did he listen to anybody? Today we are telling teachers to go. Once they've seen you as living in as if you were Arabian king, you tell the person that go to the classroom. They will not go today. They will not go tomorrow. Give them what is due them, and they will go.
Do you support them, someone Tenefi?
Sammy, what are you telling me? If my condition of service is not worthy, should I continue to go to school? Should I walk to school? Would they buy food?
Good luck, my lovely people of Ghana. My name is Echo Holland from Agona Swedro Bebianiha. Or say, please, why are our leaders so fake? If I watch, listen, and see how African politicians keep treating their people as some garbage in their homes, I ask myself a question. Do the president and the appointees fear God? Do they think they will live forever? I'm always disappointed in African leaders because of all of them are hypocrites. Whether they cut their salaries or not, they know it will not affect them in any way. A teacher goes home after 38 years of public service and you give him 10,000 Ghana cedis, and the so-called Article 71 members get thousands and thousands of Ghana cedis just after 4 years, as so-called ex gratia. And what one Article 71 member gets every month as salary and allowances alone can build a house for a poor teacher, for one poor teacher every month. God have mercy on them. It's a good evening, Sammy. You people are educating us so. You people are educating us so. MPP man should be patient and talk. It's a good evening. Yetisikaso nanso accommodate. Kinsoa edifice matters. Was it this man? Nanado said we should play his wives and that of his vice president. Well, message at me about I don't know. Mepacho, you were 5 minutes to go. That 5 minutes to go. You wrap it up, and then because we're expecting saying China media budget review. So for government to say negotiation will go costs until then, we are waiting for that. Why should we wait for IMF negotiation before we tell Ghana for? So without IMF, we can't run the economy.
I mean, I don't understand the question line, because the economy is being run. More so, media policy review, no, we have not gone beyond the stated time now. It's supposed to be by end of July, then you can say Yatomra. But if any time from now up to the end of July, but
reason I say negotiation is still ongoing.
We have engaged IMF. IMF is in town. IMF is engaging the finance ministry until we need to put way together. And you see, the good news is that, like Minya Kabukano, free SHS but you see, Sammy.
Please.
Sammy,
I've never stated that.
But even
I said I've never stated that.
John Jinapo, He's indicated on Peace FM that free SHS no yen it is their happiness that government flagship projects yen. But I want to tell them, yen and yakwa.
But they have come out to say that statement was false.
Yeah, Sammy, whether it was false, my brother said it. It's their joy. Omukotra be or Kofa Sri Lanka, but Ghana is like, but if you Ghana bought it says Sri Lanka, say in United. But Ghana will not get to that level. The economy of share honor or economy need to go on so. The call say Ebola crime Ghana no crack one of the issues in terms of IMF. Sammy, we are in IMF. We have our flashy policy programs to protect. What kind IMF letter? Or the bar earlier. And Nuntino or see your barber engage Ghana no. Sammy, it will tell you their intention. Say they are not here. Say any of the policies are. Yeah, they bananuni. IMF staff visits Ghana. Epektro, Wakatro plane. IMF stands ready to assist Ghana to restore macroeconomic stability, safeguard debt sustainability, and promote inclusive and sustainable growth, and address the impact of the war in Ukraine and the lingering pandemic.
I will give it to you.
Yeah, sure. That's the statement IMF made.
And that's the statement IMF made.
You to wrap up.
And you know, okay, that statement here. And say IMF now say Ghana a challenge, and therefore by this challenge they are not coming in to cut off any of our policies.
Okay.
But we are going to stand brand and take someone there with this some at the share some.
No
IMF will tell you free SH cancel it. The Ombudsman can tell you say, look at your bill, your expenditure. Look at your income, and make sure you don't spend more than that. For example, as we speak, because they can't come say, "I'm presenting the media budget." Because look, in terms of our debt, many woyeti hano is just the one that we knew. But when it comes to the hidden ones, not to say they are almost treating below the line expenditures. We all don't know the total amount. I can give you only 3 now. So a lot is under. At the end of a year, IMF for the at least we need to know, say your inflation, is it the 27 or is more than 27? So I mean, as I speak to you and
inflation is 27.6.
Yes. Now me can't just say by the close of this month, the government statistician the inflation rate, the difference involved. So I mean, to be honest with you, when say at a TB rate, they've increased it now, so people are not patronizing because there's no money.
Treasure bill.
Yeah, treasure bill. As I speak to you, and a treasure bill is now a 91 day is 25.89%. People are not patronizing because they don't believe in this administration. Only they know.
Is it because it's Kano Munio and the better?
Look, Ebimu was Kano, but they don't believe these people. They want IMF to just finish the Omo year before they can invest. Because how should you invest in people who they've given them about 13-point-something billion?
It was a high rate. Wait to me and negotiate.
Look, as I speak to you,
look, at a higher rate.
Sammy, the Euro bond that we went in for, Eurobond, we went for 3.5 billion for 8 years. Rate? It was for 10.5. It was so expensive. Frank Templeton. Was so expensive. 2.4 billion. It was 18.9%.
So in your 8 years bond, say now,
3.5 billion.
Pay.
8 years, 5 years, no, 13.5 billion. 5 years and another 13.5. Look, moreover, Sammy,
give me time, I'll walk
Frank Templeton, Frank Templeton, is asking. They took about hold on, just Sammy, just a minute. Let me give it to you. Then we'll just leave. Frank Templeton, they took about 2.4 billion.
No, it was 2.25 billion. Frank Templeton,
2.25 billion. No, the rate was 19.4%. Then in 2017, are you compare your 19.2 to 10.3? That we went in for. Please.
You couldn't even negotiate.
Negotiate what? Your finance minister happy to be. Look. The most poor finance minister ever is this man.
Defending this irregularity.
Look, I'm telling you, at our rate was 10.3. Yours was 18.something.
Okay.
18.something.
Ghana is a country full of unfaithful people. Teachers need better treatment. done. Okay. Yapon. As like I say, come out for mo page media. Mama send message by share that mo say. Facebook and the social media handles ahodo. Yenu akafu Amega MPP ni. Kenneth Kabu NDC ni. Me this amount the captain of the district. Yesu Christ amanitin koma ochina. Ebeko so ana ya betra ha ye din komo. Ma fide ni no so ana ha. Na yenua believer. Message bi aba. Yenua a believer adidime or message very interesting. Ghana is now a country full of unfaithful people. Teachers need better treatment than those useless government top officials from believer. Yenua adidime ana obompaye. A church fontina no mi enu etia. I was for your 19.4%.